You had the idea, the plan, the vision that kept you up at 3 a.m., heart pounding, mind racing, certain that this was it. And then, nothing happened. Not because you forgot, not because life got in the way, but because somewhere between the dream and the doing, something inside you just stopped. You're not lazy. That's not what this is. What's happening to you has a name. It has a cause. In the moment you understand it, really understand it, everything is going to look different. Stay with me for the next few minutes, because what I'm about to tell you might be the most honest thing you've heard all year. Here's something psychologists have studied for decades. The human brain cannot tell the difference between imagining doing something and actually doing it. Think about that for a second. When you picture yourself launching that business, writing that book, building that life, your brain fires the same neural pathways as if you were actually doing the work. It gives you a small, genuine hit of dopamine. And dopamine, that's your brain's reward chemical. The same one that makes food taste good, the same one that lights up when you win something. So when you daydream about your big goals, you are, in a very real neurological sense, rewarding yourself for work you haven't done yet. This is what researchers call mental simulation. And in small doses, it's incredibly powerful. Athletes use it, surgeons use it, military special forces train with it. But when you live inside the simulation full time, when the dream becomes the destination, the brain has no reason to push you forward. You've already felt the reward. Why go through the hard parts? This isn't a character flaw. This is literally how your biology is wired. Now, here's where it gets deeper. Most big dreamers don't just have a dream, they become it. I'm the person who's going to start a company. I'm the creative who's going to make something that matters. I'm the one in this family who's going to change things. The dream becomes your identity, and identity, psychologists will tell you, is one of the most fiercely protected things a human being possesses. Here's the dangerous part. If you try and fail, the dream dies. But worse, you die. The version of yourself you've been protecting, the one who was going to do something great, ceases to exist. So the brain, being the brilliant survival machine it is, finds a way to never let you get there. It creates what Dr. Gabrielle Oettingen calls positive fantasies without implementation intentions. In plain language, your brain lets you dream so vividly that you never need to implement. The dream protects you from the failure of trying, and the failure of trying protects you from discovering who you really are without the dream. It's a closed loop, elegant really, and utterly devastating. So what do big dreamers do when they feel pressure to move? They plan. God, do they plan. They make lists, they buy notebooks, they research tools, watch tutorials, build frameworks, create color-coded spreadsheets that would impress a Fortune 500 CFO, and none of it leads to anywhere. Because planning feels like progress. It uses the same part of your brain as problem-solving. It triggers a micro-burst of satisfaction every time you check a box or write a milestone. But planning without action is just dreaming with a pen in your hand. Researchers at the University of Konst ran a study where they had two groups of people set goals. One group only visualized the outcome, the success, the achievement. The other group used a technique called mental contrasting, where they also mapped the obstacles between here and there. The outcome-only group, they actually exerted less effort toward their goals than before the experiment. The obstacle mapping group showed dramatic improvement in achievement. The lesson? Dreaming without reckoning with reality doesn't motivate you, it sedates you. Your planning isn't preparation, it's procrastination dressed up in productivity clothes. And underneath it all, underneath the neurological loops and the identity protection and the planning theater, there's something much quieter. Fear. Not the loud kind, not "I'm terrified of failing," the whisper kind, the kind that doesn't even announce itself as fear. It sounds like, "I'll start when the time is right." It sounds like, "I just need to do a little more research." It sounds like, I work better under pressure, so I'll wait until it matters. These aren't excuses, they're armor. Steven Pressfield called this force the resistance. He said it's the most powerful, insidious, shape-shifting enemy a creative person will ever face. Not the market, not the competition, not the algorithm. The resistance, the invisible force between who you are and who you could be. And the thing about resistance is the stronger it is, the more important the work. If you feel an almost gravitational pull away from something, a project, a call you need to make, a page you need to write, that's not a sign you're not meant to do it. That's a sign it matters. Your fear is a compass. It's pointing directly at the thing you were built to do. So what do? You don't fix the dream, you fix the distance between the dream and the first step. The research is clear. The brain doesn't respond to big goals. It responds to immediate, specific, achievable actions. Not, I'll write a book, but I'll write 200 words before I open my phone tomorrow morning. Not, I'll build a business, but I'll send one email to someone who needs what I can offer. Not, I'll change my life, but I'll do one thing in the next 10 minutes that the version of me I want to become would do. There's a concept in behavioral science called activation energy, the minimum amount of effort required to start a process. The goal isn't to be motivated. Motivation follows action. The goal is to reduce the activation energy so low that starting feels easier than not starting. 2 minutes, one sentence, a single step in the right direction. That's all your brain needs to break the loop. Because here's the truth that no one talks about. The dreamers who eventually do something aren't more talented than you. They're not braver or more disciplined. They just found a way to fall in love with the process rather than the destination. The dream was never the point. The dream was the invitation. The question is, are you going to RSVP? If this hits something real in you, share it with someone who needed to hear it. And if you're ready to go deeper on why we self-sabotage and how to stop, I'll see you in the next one.